Hi, I'm Teresa. I will be your book lady for the event. Thank you for joining us. If you have any questions or would like some recommendations, please let me know because I'd love to help you find some books and learning toys that I think your family will enjoy. I'll be sharing a few of our family's favorites as well as some books that I think your families will enjoy as well. Thank you for joining us. I'm often asked which is my favorite Usborne or Kane Miller book, and it is super hard to pick just one. But when I have to, I usually pick Animal Hide and Seek. It's part of the Farmyard Tales with Poppy and Sam. And Stephen Cartwright was the illustrator, and he liked to hide a duck on each of his pages. And so there's textures, there's all sorts of animals, so you can make the animal sounds. You could also have the flaps. And so the whole point is you're looking for the different animals. So where's Daisy? She's hiding. And then you can find the hidden duck right by Daisy. And it's got a good variety of different textures as well as animals. And then at the end, we're looking for Poppy and Sam, and they're hiding too. If you're looking for baby books, a few of our favorites, or a few of my favorites to give as baby gifts, is the That's Not My series. There's tons of different options to choose from, but Sloth is one of our favorites. There's a variety of textures on each page. There's there's black outlines for little eyes. There's a mouse on each page. And then when they're starting to read, That's Not My is repetitive on each page, and so then it helps them build confidence because the only part that they need to then learn is the words in this on the second part of it. And then they all end with That's My. And so this one is Its Tummy Is So Soft. Another baby gift that I love to give and that my boys have enjoyed is the Tummy Time books. And so this is the Farmyard one. And so you can see that it's got some different items that you can work on counting as they get older, definitely older. But then also there's a cute little story for when they're babies. There's the different animal sounds you can work on. And then you can also make it into a triangle for them to enjoy during tummy time. And there is even a mirror, which all kids enjoy. We are big fans of the reusable sticker books. So there's All Better, which was the original, and then there's additional ones in the series like Kisses, Cuddles, Goodnight, Little Bear needs glasses, Good is New, Time to Brush, and then also Hats Off. So Good Game is the sports one, and so there's reusable plastic, this is sports or balls, but then the other ones, they can be Band-Aids or glasses, but they are just hard plastic, reusable, so we can stick them. And so if the stickers get dirty, all you have to do is run them under cold water, let them air dry, and they will get sticky again. And they are lots of fun to be used over and over again. Another series that we like are the Water Wonder books. These are great to take along to restaurants, have in the car for rides, all of that different stuff. But this is the dragon one. All you can do is take water. I like these water paint pens, but you can use a Q-tip, you can use a wet wipe, all sorts of things. And all you do is you just add water to the white areas on the page. And then once it has dried, it will turn white again, and you can reuse them again and again. Another book series that's great for toddlers and preschoolers is this Little Helpers. This is Laundry Day, Sort and Play. And inside the washing machine, you've got different laundry that you can take out, and then you can put some of the items on the line. It tells you where you are supposed to put them. So the red ones go here, and the gray pair will go there. And this is definitely one that we like to take for not only on the go fun, but also to do here at home. If you have a child that's just starting to learn to read or who is a struggling reader, I would highly suggest getting My First Reading Library. There are a variety of books in this set that they're called dual readers. And so what happens is the parent or the more advanced reader will read this side of the page, where over here the child who's just learning to read will have just a few words, and as they continue to develop more and more, they will read less and less. And then the purple books are level 1 readers, and then the orange ones are level 2 readers. Our phonics readers are great for those kids who are wanting to learn how to read, as well as those who have learned to read but maybe struggle a little bit, because on the back you can see there's a QR code. You can scan it with any device that can read a QR code, and it will read to you either the English version or the British version, depending on which you choose. But these are just funny, silly stories, but that work also on their ability to read and to learn phonics. And you can either get them as individual titles, or like this one, Unicorn and Uniforms and Other Tales. This is a combined volume, and so there's actually 6 of them in this one book, because most of the cost of books is the binding. It's a great value at $14.99 versus only one story for $6.99. For first chapter books, I highly suggest the Billy B. Brown or the Hey Jack books. Billy B and Jack are best friends, and they appear in each other's stories, and so we've read a lot of them. And it doesn't matter if they're about Billy, because Jack will also make an appearance. And if it's about Jack, Billy will also be a part of it too. And so the author, Sally Rippin, makes it so that way it's easier to read. And she likes to include a font that is meant for kids with dyslexia, because that's what her son had. And that's one reason why she took to writing chapter books, was because she wanted something for him to read, as well as other kids that were struggling readers. So this is a great first chapter book, or if you have a child who is a bit of a struggling reader, these are good as well. Freddy's Amazing Bakery is a great read aloud that you can have as a family, or it can be one that the child does individually. But one of the things that I loved, I read these with my son when he was in kindergarten, was at the end of each of the stories, they have a recipe, and so we could make the recipe together. And he still talks about them, and we occasionally pull the books out just to make the recipes. Next up are some science books. If you've got a science fan, or if you want to supplement some of your science curriculum, Dogs Do Science, as well as there's Science In. And this is a whole series. There's like balloons, eggs, salt, paper, as lemons, as well as some other ones. Like in the egg book, there is information about eggs and sizing them, and then what's inside of them, testing the strength, and then also how old they are by doing the float or the sink test, how you cook eggs, making your eggs dance, having the egg or the shell disappear. And so just a variety, and then even a few recipes. So it's a fun series. I highly suggest it. And then next up is the Dogs Do Sound, or Dogs Do Science. This is sound. There's also forces. And so these are more of cartoon type graphic books that tell us information with a few little activities as well. So there's so many great nonfiction books. I'm just covering a couple of series. This is a Bear Grylls Outdoor Skills Handbook. And so it just has about different dangerous animals, what you can do to avoid them, how to tell the difference between like poisonous and non-poisonous, as well as some glossary with some important words. Going camping. It has some survival skills, those kind of things to enjoy while you go camping. If you're not familiar with our Shine-A-Light book, I highly suggest checking them out. All you need is a flashlight, or you can even use natural light. But what you do is you just shine the light behind the page. And so like on this one, you can see the dinosaur. And then when you turn it over, you can read more information about it. And if it's the Secrets of the Vegetable Garden, who's sheltering behind the leaf, we see that it's some ladybugs. And then we can read just a little bit more about them. This is our Explore series. This is Explore America's Journeys, is the newest in this series. And it is just about some of the different explorations that have happened. So here are some of the explorers, those famous journeys that people have made. But then it goes by each area to take you on paths that you can go on, things that you should see and do when you're doing that journey. And then the national parks covers the highlights of the different national parks based on region. And then Explore America's Wildlife is also broken up into different regions and the different animals that you will find in those different regions. If you're looking for some activities for summer, I highly suggest checking out our Wipe Clean books as well as our sticker books. We've got a wide variety of sticker books. This one is the life stories of Maya Angelou, and it's got some great information about her as well as the stickers that you can put on. The Wipe Clean books are great. You can either use the marker that's on it or any washable marker or crayon will work with it. I like it because it's got dot to dots, it's got little mazes or trails to trace, as well as numbers. And so your kids are working on a lot of skills that they don't even know that they're working on. And then, of course, there's just fun directions to follow as well.